Donald Trump has no control as the Iranian-backed Houthis just launched what appears to be a surprise attack on the port city of Jebel Ali in Dubai, which is part of the United Arab Emirates. You can see right here widespread fires and plumes of smoke over the area as multiple explosions are being reported in Dubai in the past few minutes. Indeed, it appears the Houthis launched this strike in the marina area of Dubai. Donald Trump has been lying and claiming that he's negotiating a deal with Iran today, which Iran vehemently denies. Donald Trump also said Iran better make a deal with Oman today, or else Donald Trump says that he will do a decapitation of Iran, to which Iran says we are under no deadlines by the United States. And now the Iranian-backed Houthis have struck what appears to be this surprise strike in the Jebel Ali marina area of Dubai in that port city, part of the United Arab Emirates. And this follows an Iranian surprise strike yesterday, although at this point, should any of this really be a surprise? No, because Iran doesn't believe they're in any ceasefire with the United States, as the United States launched the escalation of attacks against Iran after throwing away the memorandum of understanding. But Iran struck the U.S. base in Kuwait. Iran struck an MQ-9 Reaper and 2 tankers in the past 24 to 48 hours. So yes, Donald Trump and his regime are spreading these lies. Treasury Secretary Bessent was on CNBC earlier saying that we're very close to a deal. That was all part of the market manipulation plan to pump up the markets, which they did, and to try to reduce the paper price of WTI and Brent crude, which they did, but it bears no resemblance to what's actually happening in the real world. Donald Trump is posting the following: Patton, Trump, MacArthur. More stolen valor from Donald Trump, posting AI images of himself next to AI Patton and MacArthur. And then Donald Trump has himself dressed up as a 4-star general. Utterly despicable. This as Donald Trump continues to threaten Iran and then surrender and then drag out the catastrophic economic consequences that the American people are feeling. Donald Trump posted, Trump, deal is imminent as Iran talks restart Monday on denuclearization Hormuz. Well, Iran says that is not true. Iran says we're talking to Oman and we've been negotiating with Oman about Iran's control over the Strait of Hormuz. We're not speaking with the United States. And that's why Donald Trump's saying, you better do a deal with Oman. And Iran's like, we're not listening to you. Okay, we're going to do our own thing and we're not acknowledging your existence right now. Get away. We're going to do what we want to do right here. The U.S. Central Command CENTCOM posted the following as well. The southern route through the Strait of Hormuz remains free and open for all commercial vessels seeking to transit the international waterway. Over the past 3 months, U.S. forces have assisted more than 1,000 vessels in successfully transiting the strait despite unwarranted Iranian aggression, and these transits continue today. What a humiliation ritual Trump and CENTCOM are putting our country to. It is beyond humiliating that this is what CENTCOM has become. Really, you think you control the Strait of Hormuz? Tell that to the 2 tankers in the past 48 hours that were hit by Iran. All right, we're getting this footage right here from the marina area in Dubai, in Jebel Ali, in that port city. Again, this is in the United Arab Emirates. After the Yemen Houthi surprise attack, let's play it.
This episode is brought to you by the Freedom from Religion Foundation. Midas Mighty, quick question. What do you call it when politicians try to wrap government power in religion and then tell you it's freedom? Because that's not freedom, that's control. Right now, we're watching a coordinated push to blur the line between church and state, from public schools to federal policy to the very story we tell about America after 250 years. A federal religious liberty commission is talking about building more bridges between church and state. But let's be very clear. America rejected kings. It rejected divine rule. And the Constitution does not give government the power to decide whose beliefs count. The Freedom from Religion Foundation is fighting to keep state and church separate and to make sure free thinkers, atheists, agnostics, and non-religious Americans are not erased from our democracy. Visit ffrf.us/Meidas or text Meidas to 511-511 to join or learn more. Go to ffrf.us/Meidas or text MEIDAS to 511-511 to learn more or join, because we won't go backward. Text Meidas to 511-511 today. Text fees may apply.
Here are the photographs coming in as well. I'll try to get you more photographs as they come in here at the MeidasTouch Network. The Financial Times just reported Iran denies all knowledge of talks that Trump claims would have happened on Monday. They say he lies about everything. Also, CNN reporting the following. It is now revealed that Trump had canceled his planned massive attack on Iran on Saturday, explicitly because the U.S. military exhausted 80% of its THAAD interceptors and 50% of Patriot interceptors. And after talking with Gulf allies who told him they were afraid of Iranian retaliation on their energy infrastructure and fear the U.S. can't defend them anymore due to interceptor shortages, senior officials told CNN. The leaks are pouring in. Senior U.S. military commanders warn that the Pentagon munition stockpile is dangerously low, with Joint Chiefs Chairman General Dan Kane privately cautioning that carrying out the planned attack would have fully depleted interceptors available to U.S. CENTCOM. What Trump did to his casinos, he has done to the United States military. He has basically bankrupted our military of the munitions it needs. Also, Iran directly rejecting the U.S. CENTCOM claim that the U.S.-backed southern route through the Strait of Hormuz is free and open, and that U.S. forces have assisted more than 1,000 vessels in successfully transiting the strait over the past 3 months, saying that Iran has repeatedly struck vessels in the southern route in recent months, per Iran's media fars. Heck, think about the last 48 hours. That's why I've been covering with you every time you see these tankers on fire. We've got visuals, we've got video on what's actually going down so you can see it for yourself. Donald Trump posting about very complex and expensive structure being built for the United States military at the East Wing of the White House. This picture does not yet include a drone port. So while drones and missiles are striking UAE and striking U.S. air bases in the Middle East, causing the United States to retreat from its military bases and Arab nations to fully recognize that the U.S. security umbrella doesn't exist anymore, Donald Trump is building himself a drone port and a drone shield at the White House, as he is increasingly terrified that Iran is trying to kill him as well. A senior Israeli official, meanwhile, told N12, their local, media network in Israel, that Trump wants a deal at any cost, remarking that the distance between peace and war with Trump is the distance between letters of a keyboard. They say that Trump is begging for a deal. He wants out of this desperately, and that's why he just basically wants to adopt Iran's deal with Oman. So Trump's trying to do, to his credit, Trump's good at two things. Number one, fraud, and he's the biggest con artist in fraud in history. And two, stealing other people's ideas and stealing other people's things. So he goes back to it because he can't do deals. He's never been a deal maker his life. He's always been a destroyer and a deal breacher because, go back to number one, he is a fraud. He wants to take credit for the Iran deal with Oman, and Iran realizes how desperate they have him right now. I think that's one of the reasons you're seeing this Houthi strike also on Dubai, because remember, the United Arab Emirates, they're the remaining country that wanted Donald Trump to escalate. Them and Israel wanted Donald Trump to escalate. Saudi Arabia wanted de-escalation. The other Arab nations wanted de-escalation. Israel and the UAE wanted escalation. So in my view, that's one of the reasons the Houthis are striking Dubai, saying, we will make sure that we destroy your tourism sector. We will destroy your business over there. Nice Dubai you have. Say goodbye to Dubai. I think that's one of the messages that they're sending, knowing that the UAE wants the U.S. to escalate. So I think that's why it was that message. Also, Iran realizes that Donald Trump is begging for a deal. They know that America is out of interceptors. And again, how embarrassing for our military. After $1 trillion last year's budget for the military industrial complex, we're out of weapons, we're out of THAADs, we're out of Navy destroyers, we're out of the Patriots. So now Iran is saying, you know what, Oman? We want a little bit more than simply control over the Strait of Hormuz, which we get. And there would be a system where Iran controls the Strait of Hormuz. Oman recognizes that, but Iran's the main supervisory force. They say, we want an immediate end to the U.S. naval blockade, the lifting of all U.S. sanctions on Iranian oil, petrochemical products, and gas, an explicit acknowledgement of Iran's rights to collect maritime fees on every ship, the end of all attacks on Iran permanently by all parties. These additional demands come on top of the current arrangement, which would give Iran full sovereign control of inbound traffic into the Strait of Hormuz and supervision over outbound traffic through Omani waters, which Iran would still supervise. So with all of this going on, Jebel Ali struck, Kuwait base struck, MQ-9 Reaper struck, tankers struck. That's the reality. Besant goes on CNBC, manipulate the market. That was the plan. They did it. They manipulated the market. So the rich get richer and all Americans suffer and everybody else in the world suffer. That's what they did. People can't trust our markets anymore here in the United States, which is very, very sad. I mean, it's a very sad thing. It's going to have long-term effect. Then they got to finish the day with state regime media Fox. Jesse Waters. Here's what Jesse Waters says. Let's play.
Jesse, do you see something changing in the future? In that way?
Yeah, I mean, we whipped Iran in what, 38 days?
Yeah.
Gave peace a chance. They blew it. We whipped them again for 2 weeks straight. Now we're here. They're about to surrender the strait, and they have to because they're losing hundreds of millions of dollars a day. And our stock market just hit another record high. Oil just closed at 78. So, like, the last 2-week aerial campaign really hit them hard. These strategic islands, all the rail, all the coastal installations, we pushed their firepower way back. And U.S. intel knows exactly where the gay Ayatollah is, knows exactly where all these leaders are. So when Trump says decapitation, that's why they're climbing down. That's why Besant, Rubio, and Qatar, and all the Middle East publications said, yeah, right now they're negotiating over just a few minor details in the strait, basically the north-south route, whether they're going to let the Europeans demine the middle passage, and some administrative fees. And so
the propaganda is outrageous. Outrageous. That's what's going on. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million subscribers. Thank you for watching, y'all.
Breaking news right now. My brothers and I wrote a book. It's called WTF America. And well, doesn't that just say it all? It comes out officially this October, but you can pre-order your copy today. Just scan the QR code or click the link in the description below.